Computer, what does it mean to grieve?
The verb grieve can have a few meanings. 1. To feel grief or great sorrow. 2. To distress mentally, cause to feel grief or sorrow. 3. To oppress or wrong.
The word grieve, today on the Blind Jedi Vlogs. Welcome everyone to another edition of the Blind Jedi Vlogs. I am Jason, aka the Blind Jedi, and today we're going to be talking about the word grieve or grieving. Before we get started, I'd like to ask if you're new here to think about hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be updated every time I drop another video. And if you've been here for a while and you like this series, go ahead and force push that like button. All right, to get things kicked off today, I want to let everybody know and remind everybody that this channel is all about educating, advocating, motivating, and inspiring, as well as being on that quest for positivity, being one with the Force, a nice little Star Wars theme-based quest for positivity mission on this channel. And you don't have to have sight loss to gain something from this content. Now, I do suffer from sight loss, so it's kind of a primary focus for myself because it's what I deal with, it's how I relate, and it's part of the reason, or majority of the reason, why I'm on that quest for positivity. But you could suffer from any type of loss or some sort of depression. I'm hoping that these videos can help you as well. So keep that in mind as you think about hitting that subscribe button. All right, let's go ahead and start off with the topic of today, which is grieve, to grieve or grieving. Now, you might ask yourself right away, well, if this is about the quest for positivity, why are we going to be talking about something that actually stands for sorrow or sadness? Well, a good analogy I can give you, and I'm going to ask if you've watched the movie Inside Out by Disney Pixar, comment in the section below. Let me know if you watched that movie, Inside Out from Disney Pixar. It deals with emotions, and the emotions that they deal with in this animated movie is joy, sadness, anger, and disgust. So if you haven't checked that out, I advise you to check it out. I don't want to spoil the movie, but those are just a few of different emotions that we deal with all the time, and how the movie kind of shows how all that comes together, how we deal with all these emotions are connected. It's a great analogy of why I'm going to be talking about grieving is being positive, especially when it comes to sight loss. Like, I would not literally be where I'm at today if I didn't go through some sort of grieving in my process. One of the most intriguing things that I've gotten out of this series, and I find to be amazing, is how a lot of the words that we have talked about thus far tie into each other. For example, in the first day, we covered the word accepting, accepted, right? And it's quite amazing because as I think back, as I was thinking of the word grieve, once I actually got to the point where I accepted my sight loss and accepted the fact that I have now become legally blind, there's a grieving process that takes place after that. And it was that same grieving process that brought me to where I'm at today, which brought me to Valley Center for the Blind, which brought me to the point in my life where I said, you know what? I'm going to start making a difference in my life and learning these skills, whether it's the mobility cane, whether it's JAWS, whether it's voiceover on my phone, you name it. Maybe it's Braille in your life. Once I accepted the fact of my current status, I had to grieve. And then when I went through that grieving process, I was able to move on. I could not move on until I grieved. I needed to grieve. It was more than just accepting the fact, because I know this whole time that I had Stargardt's disease. I already knew I had it. I just wasn't accepting the fact that I had it, or accepting the fact of what happens because I have it. So once I accepted that, it was sad. I went through another period, another time of sorrow. Feeling sorry for myself, if I just need to come out and say it, right? Feeling sorry for myself. That whole poor is me thing. And I'm not downplaying any of it. This is just my own personal experience, okay? You know, I still suffer with that poor as me stuff. Like, it happens. You know, there's certain, I'm always going to have a level of grieving in my life. There's always going to be a level of acceptance that I have to do in this journey for the rest of my life. There's new obstacles I face all the time. And in those obstacles, I gotta learn to accept them, and then I gotta grieve. The real point that I'm really trying to make here, the one thing that I'm trying to get across, the happiness that I have in my life now came from a level of sorrow. And I do encourage you to go watch that Disney Pixar film, Inside Out, because it really does a great job of showcasing how the opportunities in our life, not all, but a lot of opportunities that happen in our life to find happiness comes after a period of sorrow. So because I went through what I went through in life, whether or not I asked for it or not, or regardless of any part of your life, right? It doesn't have to be through tragedy or circumstances out of your control. Sometimes we put those things, and I've talked about that as well. Like, sometimes I put things in my way. I put things in my way in my own life that creates me to have sorrow or trouble or hardship. But it really takes a level of grievance to allow joy to come in. We have to accept things and get over things and move forward. It's a part of the process. So even though grieving means sorrow and sadness, it's one of the steps in the quest for positivity. It truly is. To become one with the Force, there has to be a level of pain and sorrow you have to go through to accomplish that goal. I've experienced on many different occasions, and I guarantee you I'll be experiencing it much, much more too. And I'm just glad that I'm building a community that I can share that sorrow and sadness with, and also lean on the people that are in my life now to help me through it. I want to take the opportunity at this time just to let you all know, if you're going through something, whether it be sight loss, some other sort of loss, depression, that it's a lifelong battle, especially in today's society. But I want to invite you once again today to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Come on this journey with me. Come on that quest for positivity, being one with the Force, finding true happiness, and taking it step by step and day by day. You know, I know right now I'm doing a series that's covering and talking about a lot of serious stuff. And that's kind of the whole point, is to go through, to identify the things that we deal with on a daily, to help us overcome our fears, our loss, whatever it is that you're going through at that moment. We all have an opportunity to fight, to be one with the Force, and to be happy. As this channel continues, we're going to be going on some adventures. It's going to be all about excitement and fun and nostalgia. At least for me, I want to share my happiness and my joy and the process that it took me along the way to get here, as well as my downfalls, my tough days, my sorrow, my grievance, my acceptance, me facing my fears, all of it. And I'd love for you to come along with me. So if that's you today, please think about hitting that subscribe button, the notification bell. Leave me a comment section down below. Let me know that you hear me, that you're with me on this journey. Let's do this together. Remember, stay one with the Force, and the Force will be with you always. I'll talk to you guys next time.